welcome to everybody. So, when we're diving in deep space with our small submarine, I'm calling this like submarine because we put it in there, we must carry with us oxygen. We must create our environment for the breathe and to take energy at the same time. I was saying, Mr. Keshe.
Can I, before you go in that section, we stopped somewhere last week, which we would like to know more because you sound to be able to explain to us. When you created the environment, when you were in it with your cousin and the military officer.
Yes.
Can you explain to us more in detail how you manage to communicate? Is the voice the same? Is the sound the same?
Between us, you mean?
Yes.
No, it's exactly completely different because you emotionally you want to change. You sometimes I think I've got to become mental person, but sometimes even can I hear them before they speaking? Like in my brain. And after all again happened to me this when it was I'm sitting next to one person, and he said me something. I'm turned, but again physically start to talk the same words. We can like echo. So, but how happened this? I don't know. Because of that, now have some period of times I'm using I'm going doctor for this, and the doctor give me omega-3, omega-6, and he give me advice I must using a lot of olive oil. Because he said me my nervous system has happened something.
So in a way you can hear the thinking before it becomes physicality motion.
But this is I think 2 or 3 times happened in this craft. Not a lot, not too much. Because I'm flying only 4 times with this. I didn't fly and continue because it's 4th time.
You use the term fly. Explain to us what do you mean. Did you take off? Did you hover? Did you go somewhere?
When we lift first time, we decide coming for 1,000 feet. We're closing everything. We're switching on the atmosphere. We're giving a pressure atmosphere in the room. Okay, it's not room. It's a craft.
No. Stop. What do you mean you change the atmosphere? You close the room.
I mean, is reality. We don't know what waiting us. Because first time we have experiment, and everybody's. And it was this officer, it was his pilot, fighter pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And even we get it on our back, like who was moving with the diving the seat, or has oxygen tube. Mm-hmm. We're taking the case. We don't know what's waiting us.
So instead of going in your submarine down, you went up 1,000 feet.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, we created we don't need to put the oxygen mask or something. We breathe normally, like in submarine.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, 4th time after when I decided to, because we found a lot of hole on our after 3rd flying, I found this very small blackish, but I think this is hole. Because what I built on the craft, outside of around the craft, where like a small blackish, like you keeping like a fire torch on, like that. And I think because at the same time it start to, I see 2-3 times this flash in my eyes when we're coming in.
Can you describe? Somehow we're getting your voice back. Can you describe what is this black holes you're talking about? Where were they?
It was getting last flight, and after we decided to using another one sheet for covering from the bore carburetor. I decided to using this because before I built one system to go to blockage gamma rays, and it was working, but it couldn't be resistible enough, and I think it starts to hold when I see this black spot there. And I said, okay, let's wait, because in the 76% world reserve bore is in Turkey. You know, maybe you know about this because you're a nuclear physicist. And 76% bore reserve is in Turkey. For them, it's very easy to produce this bore carburetor, like a plaquette. If I'm not wrong, it will grow 30 or 40 centimeters each square plaquette on the lead. We put it on the lead before I build like a capacitor system. We're flying 3 times with this, and 3rd time I'm seeing this black, like a torch burn on, and I said, and when we're getting flash in our eyes, and I said, okay, it's not enough our shielding, but this is not come from outside from the space. This is coming from our shielding. We create this our shielding. We spread out a lot of electrons and downstairs positron, but I think somehow it start to make damage for our body, our craft body. This, and in reality, this like armor, what I'm decided to build on the body of ship to cover us from our how to say. Our environment, because we have a huge amount like electric discharge there around the ship. And
can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Can you give us a rough dimension of what you're talking about? What's the size of the ball, the environment, 3 of you in it? It was 7 meter diameter?
It was a craft.
Yeah, but what was...
It depends how much level you manipulate your coils. Because huge amount of voltage you spread out. And when it was working, craft on the lift position, when I'm talking of 3-4 meters high, standing up on air, stall. When you switch off now, you must bring down till nearly to switch off. Then you switch off, because of this we put a special keeper like that, 3 meters, to come and sitting on that. Because when you switch on, there's a jump up rapidly, like a and standing, shaking like that and standing. And because of that, you couldn't switch off exactly, if you switch off exactly, you lost your environment and bam, you fell down because of G1. Because of that, you need a special base, special, I think it's correct, it's base. So, what was it? What's the given question? Sorry.
No, it's just that we were. I wondered the environment you're talking about. How do you supply? Oh, wait. How do you supply oxygen in this space if you have created a closed environment? Or what's built in with the
tube? We will put it as in a high pressure tube. We put it, but not all. We put it inside is normal atmosphere combination because who's moving diving, they're using a lot of azote when they go into, because they have, on them body have pressure in the sea. But we don't need this because on ours in the room we don't have pressure.
Okay, if you go back on what you told us, you said you've been up 1,000 meters. What
then
are
after we put it again 1,000. Then for last we coming until one alien how to say calling this area. We will go to seeing as a colorful as from North Pole on the Earth. And that's time, that's flying. After that's flying, I start to seeing this like torch burn on the ship. And after I ordering, because before, Mr. Can I show something to explain? Because when it was this dome, the building, it was I'm searching from Mimar Sinan, architecture Sinan, information for about on dome house. Anyway, it was I'm using one shoe. No, when it was I have experiment for free energy, and that time was I'm playing with a plasma ball, plasma sphere. I'm buying 2, 3 from this. It was my phone I'm positioning in the middle of third effect generator because it was no neodymium. And after I want to understand how much energy I have, can I get with from the like gamma rays? And I asking from one person who's he's in university, and he bring Geiger meter, and I get when I'm measuring. I get from 40,000 volts driving. I mean, to give spark, manipulate the hydrogen. I think I think it was hydrogen because I have a blue light. It was a hydrogen gas inside. It was that doesn't write what kind of gas I have in this sphere on the placket. And I'm measuring from outside 400 Gauss. Sorry, gamma. It's not Gauss, it's gamma. And if we're getting by the energy level of 400 gamma, by the usable voltage, it will come like 100 volts. And it was a good deal for free energy. Because when you go to driving this sphere ball, was I'm spending only 12 volt, 3 ampere, 36 watt. And nearly I'm telling 10 times more energy. So, from this experiment, when I'm playing with this ball, after I started looking away, how can I collect this gamma ray to absorb the energy? Then after I found a way, I'm using capacitor, open capacitor, to absorb this energy. around of sphere. I'm positioning one aluminium plate from North Pole. In the middle is a plastic plate, and down is a copper plate. And I'm positioning as aluminium plate for the North Pole of sphere, and the copper, the South Pole. But it's very interesting things. If you try to spinning, you put it on the one platform, a spin platform, and you're spinning the sphere, and you're driving at the same time, will come positions like, for example, this is sphere, and will come any different way. This flux, this gamma flux, gamma rays, will come like that, up and down, north and south. But when you start spinning this ball, I think because of acceleration, it's come and it close this circuit. It will come like that. And from there I get it idea. It was I doing this before for absorb energy, and I'm using this on the close the shield for around the ship. But for spinning, I'm doing this how I told before, like accelerator from mercury gas we're running inside to create this magnetic field to cavitate it down to bring north and south is called closing this. And from there, my capacitor, when I build a capacitor to absorb gamma ray to create a free energy. After I think, hey, wait a minute. Can I absorb from gamma ray with this capacitor stack system energy? If I put it this stack and I'm manipulated, I'm charging from the step back whole process must create some like a wall not to give chance from gamma rays to go, or to put step down gamma ray to not to come so deep in the material. I mean, will come like that. Then I build this after. I mean, for a small example like prototype. And small one where I'm talking like a box, four side, and I'm sitting positioning this sphere, this plasma sphere in the middle, and I'm started spinning for inside. But outside I put in a Geiger. I cannot read nothing. Is what I built. It was working. And I put one shield, one placket, aluminium, plastic between them, between the copper and aluminium. Then after copper, again I put the plastic. Then after triple time feet lead, because I know lead can step down speed of gamma ray. And then after you're giving voltage from two plates, aluminium and copper plate. When you're giving a voltage, some amount voltage, they will start to come in like shielding. But it was a fourth flying. This is couldn't keep enough to holding this craft wall, because when I saw this burn spot like blackish, like a black, not blackish, it's black, exactly black. I understand because it's a 2-3 times I get from my left eyes. This eyes is like, and I know this from astronauts who's living in capsule. They have this flash, and I said, we have to get a lot of radiation. Then we're coming back. And after I'm ordering, because it was that time we have in this country.
Can I ask you what height was this? Can you give us a height? How high were you?
I told you is I don't know exactly. I don't remember exactly how many meters, but one alien, like a downwind calling from this before the satellites orbits between one alien we come a little bit upper one alien bandwidth. Then when I'm getting this flash in my eyes, I said, we're going back, we're going back. Because I understand, I didn't say them this is radiation. They also didn't say it.
No, what I want to know is, there are a few questions in what you're telling us, so I'm trying to clarify that we all understand the same thing.
Let's be going.
Do you wear a seatbelt? Were you seated?
Was we built sit place like a chair for behind of us, but and for the control panel, on the control panel we put it like a bar chair highness, but the long like a bar, a fitness bar with a sponge. You're not sitting exactly, but you're staying. You put it your ass is on this bar, and you fit it down, because all control you don't have any fit control apparatus. Everything were by the hands.
Can you explain?
Can I explain for
say all the controls are by hand. What do you mean by that?
Okay. On control, we're using 2 persons. One person, he always is checking for the power panel. We must checking, and he is responsible to main coil in the middle. What's from the middle, and the second person is flight. Is controlling for this small ball for the manipulate the direction.
Can you land on the same spot as you took off? Or you land somewhere else?
No, we didn't manipulate, we didn't go to lie down flying. We just going up at night time, especially because army, military guys, they don't like to American or in other countries know about this. And we usually we're moving in night time.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, from where you took off.
Sorry?
Where you took off, you always landed in the same place?
Yes, directly. We're going down, you up and down, because we didn't move it. So for flying, to test flying, we're doing in this area, in this military area. We're doing this only. It's not on the air.
How long were you up in the atmosphere?
Like capacity for oxygen capacity?
No. How long? What was the duration?
Doesn't matter if you could switching on.
No. When you went up, how long were you up each time?
Each test, you mean? Each test flight?
Yeah.
Is reality inside always be lost in time because our clock working when we were coming back? It was a difference from downstairs and up. It was downstairs. They told us for two sometimes you don't know. One time we staying 3 hours.
But
And
my
another
question,
2 hours we staying.
if you're not moving sideways, you can't land on the same spot.
I didn't tell you exactly on the same, but in the same area we're coming. Or maybe I didn't get as well your question.
No, what I'm saying, if you go up, according to what we know, the Earth
Right.
rotates
This
around.
I'm going up. Okay. Yeah. For first flying, we're going 1,000 feet, and after the second time, we're going 2,000 feet. Then after they told us 36 kilometers. We must try because it was this pilot officers. It was with us. But you know what's the funny things? I don't believe them. Because they could not measuring our distance, even with laser. How they could go to tell me, okay, you're going there, you're coming here? It was I tried to give you 2
There is a question mark. There is a question mark that if you go up for 2 or 3 hours, you should land somewhere. Don't know.
To China, near to China we must go in.
Yeah, but they can't land on the same spot in Turkey. That's my question.
Yes, because the world is moving at the same time. I know about it.
Yeah, but how can you land on the same place?
We're coming on the same place again. Same place, I mean the same area. When we're coming and we open a door, again it's coming there. How's happened this? I don't know. And always, our time, our clock, I'm checking this, we're staying about, we're staying back. It's not like not moving.
Okay, stop. There is a question. I'm going to ask you something because we have a reference point. You told us that you made the craft 7 meters in diameter, correct?
So from the middle, when you open 7 meters going and then around.
But was it closed structure or is it a flat structure?
How I showed before, last teaching. Was not exactly like this, but no, it's here. But you can change this.
No, I'm gonna ask a question. Where did you see the black spots?
On the shielding, on the craft. When we switch off everything, always I'm checking up and down everywhere. It's happened something.
Inside or outside?
Outside, on the aluminium, I'm so black spot.
Okay, no problem. Because I have to ask you these questions, and the others will say he didn't say this, he didn't say that. So I'm trying to that we understand fully. Let me tell you what we see now. In the test, somebody who's listening knows who it is. We are seeing the same black spots on the ceiling where the test is taking place. We're talking black spots on the ceiling of a house, yeah. And I was asked, what are these black spots? Understand that there is a self-formation core in the building.
Yes.
And understand that the system, why do you think you have these black spots?
I'm thinking.
Somebody, let me explain you. Somebody is testing the space reactors. Yeah, a star formation. And on the ceiling, just around the light, they're observing black spots on the ceiling.
Like, you mean a room?
Yeah, yeah, in the house, yeah.
They crazy? Why they doing this in the home?
Yeah, but it's everybody testing. We don't have all garages and we don't have military base to go outside. We're all testing in funny places. No, 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 no. Let me...
Reflection.
Pardon?
It's possible to have reflection on the body.
It's a plasma. It doesn't do any harm. No, but what I was trying to establish in talking about the black spots, because in a lot of tests in reactors, we have seen black spots. These black spots comes from the energy release. It's just like
or gamma ray?
No, these are the energy release in the structure. We see it. So you're telling us something which we already have seen, even in the test in Tehran 7 years ago. In our plasma nuclear reactors, we saw these spots, these burning spots. Now people who are using the star formation are reporting it on top of the light, where the light's hanging from the ceiling in our region. Alekz, can you explain to us the black spots on the ceiling?
Oh, well, I started noticing it a couple of days ago, and then I was surprised. I didn't know because I put on a new star formation configuration, and then I started seeing the spots, so I don't know how it got there.
Could you tell us where they are?
Just under the lights, the chandelier in my living room.
My God, you're testing in the living room.
No, no, it's my kitchen. I mean, no, the reactor wasn't. No, the reactor is not in my living room. It's in my kitchen. But the formation, I mean, the rings are on the lights in the living room.
Only around the light.
Yeah, just only around the light.
What is the shape?
Like a ball from copper wire.
No, it's not copper wire. It's just a ring.
No, no, it says is it like a bulb?
Lamp holder box.
Yeah, the lamp holders. I think they're brass. Not copper, they're brass.
No, it's copper wire. When you're using a lamp holder box in the concrete or in the ceiling, like a box, okay? And you're using like a junction box there, and it does come and go a lot of
No, he's got a copper, or what do you call it, brass cover top.
Yeah, the chandelier has some brass, and then well, I think it's copper wire in there. So I don't know what's causing that.
Now maybe
there's a metal there.
Yeah, it's holding as a copper. It's a copper holder. Everything is made of brass. The chandelier.
Yeah, I think so.
Where's hanging this brass metal? It's hanging like lamp holder in the ceiling. Concrete, you have junction box, and in the junction box you have copper cable, like electric cable.
Yeah.
And between that, at least you have two metals, and the ceiling, how to say, line, when they coat it, will come like capacitor there.
Oh yeah.
Two different metal, and between two of them is ceiling plaster. Plasting. This plasting has come from how to say, clay, and this clay is resistible.
But it's not a ceiling. I mean, it's not. I mean, I think it's because I live in the blocks of flats, so it's not a proper ceiling. I think it's just a decking. So it's the proper wall.
Yeah, what it's trying to say, the copper wire which goes into the light plus the hook or the dish which is underneath is creating like a capacitor, two plates and a capacitor.
Okay.
Between plastic climb on the ceiling, working. I think this is my opinion. Started working because clay is resistible for the electric potential electric, and start working this to they have high distance. Maybe atmosphere also making gap between two of them, but we're giving like a capacitor effect. And this discharge, when coming this discharge, it's possible to make black spots around of ceiling.
Okay.
I think, in my opinion, I don't know.
But can I ask you a question, Alekz?
Yes, sir, Mr.
Are
Keshe.
the living room is next to the kitchen, I presume.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Is the direction of the black spots in one direction towards the kitchen, or is it all over?
No, no, no. It's towards the window that faces the garden. That's
So
it.
it's on the other side. It's away from the kitchen where the star formation is.
Yeah.
All in one
I mean,
direction.
it's not even. I mean, the ring is not even. It's not evenly colored. Some part, the one that is close to the garden is darker than the one that's on the other side of the ring.
Okay. No, it's just that I wanted to bring something in. You asked the question, what are these black spots?
Yeah, yeah, I understand that.
Now you understand, maybe you got your answer.
Okay, okay,
We
thank you.
see, you're welcome. We see a lot of energy release.
Yeah,
from
my house is full of energy now. No one eats in my house anymore. No one is hungry in my house anymore, including me. Even if I don't eat, I feel full.
Are you all becoming Martians?
We might be growing tails soon. Mr. Keshe, I was trying to replicate the experiments of the one, what's his name, Swahili did. I put my phone close to the new star formation I did, and I put the 136.1 hertz in it, and then I put a bottle of water close to the reactor with a drop of nano GANs. I'm making GANs. The bottle is making GANs by itself.
Can you repeat that?
All right. The new star, the experiments Swahili did,
Yeah.
with the signal, the tone generator. So I have,
explain to what the test was. A lot of people haven't read chat. Not many people have access to that chat room.
Okay, the test was that I think he was able to control the reactor, the single core reactor, which is mine.
I give you an insight of what they've done. He was supposed to come and explain this himself. They have filled the reactor with CO2, and they have subjected the reactor to 136.1 hertz frequency noise for 4 days in a box, in a closed box.
Like is a voice like a bee buzzing like?
No, we don't know. He's got to come and explain. I'm just giving a background to it because he wrote it in one of the chat rooms. There are 50 people or so, no more there, but there's hundreds, thousands of you are listening, so you all know what's happening. So what he's done, he's put the core, CO2 core, single core, into a box and subjected the reactor to 136.1 hertz frequency for 4 days. Then he uses a headphone, and using the same frequency, if I understand correctly what it tells us, he starts communicating with the reactor. We put the reactor out of the box, and he decides mentally that he wants the reactor to move with his eyes, but his thoughts is showing with his eyes. And the reactor moves or starts moving to that direction, and even, I don't know, whatever, it falls over in that direction where the reactor had no reason, it's been running for times, had no reason to fall over as it comes to move. So he has tested the situation in telepathically to control the movement of the reactor by his thoughts, and they have found some parallel work or something that can investigate the correctness of the thought movement through the 136 hertz. And he's flown to London with a team of scientists there to test this today. That's why we can't get hold of him. He's most probably with them.
It's possible Keshe is coming in the passing through the shielding?
No, there is no shielding. He is running a reactor with CO2. And so the assumption is because his brain contains CO2, carbon and oxygen. So he has made what you call like a loop between himself and a reactor, and he can move the fields of the reactor inside. So I said I don't make any comment till he comes, but this is what Alekz is talking about. So carry on, Alekz.
Yeah, so when I place the bottle, the bottle of water and a drop of nano GANs in the water, this morning when I woke up, I discovered that the bottle had GANs in it, CO2 GANs in it.
But is the bottle subjected to 136.1 hertz?
The same environment like the reactor. It was just close, like some 2 or 3 centimeters away from the reactor, and then my phone as well, the one that I used to generate the.
Can you take a video of it and share it with us, or can you open the camera and show us?
There's no way I can do that now, Mr. Keshe. Maybe I can upload it later and send it online.
Yeah, send it online. Send it to me and I'll have a look. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
No problem. So what we're trying to see, as you understand, we're trying to be precise, that we don't bring fiction into just talking. Then we join the rest of the what do you call it, talking out of experience. And we understand what we're talking, what parallels we see in where we see. So the release of the black spots, what you'd say, we have already reported a long time ago, even in past teachings in past few weeks, that when the energy is released from the plasma, when it comes in a matter state, it's the conversion of the plasmatic into matter, creates a nanolayer on the matter side. We've seen this the same with the test with Renan in the Philippines. When they open the wires, which had never been subjected to, but they could have the plasma passing through them, they see dark cover, black spots on it, or black covering of the material. This is when the energy of the plasma converts into the matter state. And it creates a nano layer of itself that it can transport into. The reason I'm going to go on camera that you understand this. This is the copper wire. This is the nano layer. And then what happens when the plasma comes with a higher strength, passing in either way the material, in the contact layer, it releases this energy. That this release of energy creates nano layers. Is the interaction, is exactly putting a low current through the wire. That's why you get nano coating. The plasma at the interface between the matter state releases enough energy that allows the conversion of molecular structure to nano. Then you see it as a dot, you see it as a burn material. And when you have a single direction plasma which hits at the same time, it creates an environment here on the spot at the point of interaction, a local nano material that it can allow its energy to go through to the matter state. The interface in changing a plasma to a plasma current flow to electron current flow releases energy which leads at that level to creation of nanomaterial at the point of, that's what you see. It's not a burn, it's a conversion at that point. If you test this, it's nano-coated material.
Wow.
You understand?
On aluminium.
Oh, doesn't matter what. It could be wood. It has plasma itself cannot go through the matter in one go. At the point of conversion, into the electron flow, it needs a transition material. And that transition material comes through nanolayering. It releases so much energy at the low level plasma that the molecular structure opens up and creates nanomaterial, and then at that point finds an interface between the environment and the matter state. That's why you get the burn spot. You create a nano layer in a spot that the energy transfer from plasmatic to matter can take place.
Okay.
Okay, that's why you will see that.
Can I have two questions? Can I have two questions?
Yes. Yes.
First of all, first question, when you're asking me is when we go to landing and back on the same point, is can be possible? can have possibility we lock it Earth's gravitational magnetic field between our ship and then we're moving like a satellite, how does to keeping a position, same position?
That's what you've done, most probably.
Okay. Because when I'm thinking, when we look at together our magnetic gravitational field between Earth, and we start to move it, turning around on the orbit from some distance orbit, like a satellite. That means.
In a way, it could be, but this is what I cannot understand. How you come back to the same position?
Well, I'm saying
is the possibility. So
yes,
because you said to us you didn't flow like this. When you don't flow, you see, you explain a few things that brings to the point that you have tested. I have no doubt in what you've done, but we have to be able to explain how and why.
Yes, of course, but
so you see what is possible. Let me explain to you how it's done. You will do it. All of us will do this in a space. This is called, as you know, I explained this before, it's known as twinity. So you have created a gravitational magnetic field force in respect to a position. If this is your position and you create a gravitational magnetic field with respect to this position, then your reference point is always that position. So when you are on Earth, gravitational magnetic field of Earth at the point of your departure is created in respect to this, not in respect to the whole environment of the Earth. So you always have the continuity, so you always can come back to the same reference point.
We'll lock it there.
It's locked because gravitational magnetic field of the Earth in that point, in that respect, doesn't matter how it goes, always is locked. That's how you started it. This is how we lock to the positions in a different environment in cosmos. We create a gravitational magnetic field in respect to a position in cosmos. So our point of reference, doesn't matter where we go, is always this point, gravitational magnetic field putter, till we change it. This is one of the reasons when we see flight, rapid flight, we see a nothing and it starts sensing a flash. Because you change the point of reference. The flashing of the sudden departure is mainly through the change of position. What does this mean? Is that
it was they report when we're jumping, when we're going, flying, as behind, after us, they see this flash, big flash, then after they get some smell of ozone smell, a huge ozone smell.
Quite possible, it happens. But what happened, doesn't matter where you fly, in what position, your point of reference is this point, because you created your gravitational magnetic field in respect to this point to gain position. So doesn't matter how you swing, unless you change it, you always, this is always your point of reference.
I understand.
Yeah. When you go into space, you create a gravitational magnetic field in respect to the gravitational magnetic field of the Earth at a given point. So you always come back to the same point. It's a self-locking system. Okay? Because you take off, you always come back to the same point as long as you haven't changed the point. There is something... Yes.
That's a straight line from the center of gravity of the bigger sphere to that other X point. Is that always in a straight line to the middle of that sphere, the middle of the center of the gravity of that sphere?
More or less, yes, but in a way from the point of reference, because the structures like Earth.
couldn't do it at an angle to that sphere, right at the edge. You would have to
No.
go straight in.
No,
And then,
what happens depends on is when we take a position in respect to Earth at a given point, not only the gravitational field of the Earth is interacting, is the inertia of the matter within the structure counts too. This is why a lot of you have a problem, you reduce weight and you don't see lift and you're getting frustrated because you are handling half of the situation because of the matter state reactors. So you always fly in respect to this, but when you fly outside zone, you fly in respect to the totality. And then when you come back, you create a reference point, gravitational magnetic field, let's say Arizona, what do you call it, airport, and such a position. You just land in the place because that's the gravitational magnetic field which is created at the point of departure. It's always remembered. Even though the gravitational magnetic field internally of the planet is continuously changing. Because you lock to the inertia part of it more than the gravitational magnetic field part of it. It's in time you will understand. There was, thank you very much, Mr. Ali. We're going to do a little bit of expansion on knowledge, and we'll come back to you next week again.
Can I have one more question, please?
Yes.
Okay. If it's happened this, and we built our shielding around. It was I'm thinking. This is my opinion. What we're doing is a like experiment. It was an electric discharge, but you said it's plasma. It's possible.
It's a plasma.
Okay.
If this is where mainly the work of Tesla got stuck. Tesla could not differ between the magnetic field and the plasmatic field. He worked on vectors in the wrong way.
Sorry,
yeah.
can I continue the question? Okay, if we create around of us our shielding from plasma, and my ship positioning in the middle of this plasma, and I see this black spot, it means from my environment has to come some energy, plasmatic energy. Is it possible to punching on the metal, for example, aluminum is card, and after transferring from plasma condition to
but you get these spots on both sides, inside and outside. Depends what field is attracting and what field is repelling. Are you repelling high at the level, or are you receiving high?
Inside I didn't found, only surface, on the outside.
Outside, that's so your gravitational field is absorbing at the level of the radiation. Because that's what I said, 80% of the loss of life in the space will be not understanding the process of plasma transfer. This is one of the biggest problems.